Good morning. I had a fantastic night's sleep in the campsite. We're both just waking from our slumber. How you doing, Finn?
Really good. I don't think you guys have seen what we have for breakfast yet, but...
Oh,
ta-da!
yeah. Oh my god, I'm very excited for this. Okay, let's get fully up and have some of this food. Man, those are some sweet panna chocolates. This is going to be a good breakfast. Hello, so we've just left Modane/Forks and we're trundling along on our way up this afternoon. What are the stats for today, Finn?
I think we've got about 6 hours to a coal where there's a refuge and we're going to try and find somewhere to camp just outside of it.
Unfortunately, the path seems to be sort of disappearing into a giant felled tree land in front of us, so I'm not really sure what the deal is.
Yeah.
We're a little bit lost at the minute, but we'll work it out. We forgot to mention that it is so far a beautiful day this morning.
Sunny, clearish skies, a
little bit of haze, maybe like one wispy cloud. But fingers crossed.
It's no rain.
Because we're going to be quite early at this coal we think this afternoon. It's only 6 hours. It is all up though.
And here we have the lesser spotted ant mound. Only found in certain parts of the Alps. It contains a lot of ants.
It's bloody massive. Man, just looking at it is making me itch. Quite a lot of trees and sweatiness this morning.
It's been hot.
On the plus side though, my pack is carrying super duper well with only 2 days of food in it, so that's fantastic. We found a spooky abandoned asylum on the top of the mountain. Okay, we're not quite at the top of the mountain, but fairly high up. Finally, some mountains are starting to appear. It's about time. We've been walking out for ages. Also, my tummy is starting to rumble, Finn.
Oh, I can feel some lunch.
Oh man, it's time for a spot of luncheon, and
oh yeah,
it's been a bit of a slog this morning. We're both so chappy to get out into this mountain bit.
It's nice to be in the mountains because it's the whole morning's felt like we've just been climbing out of this town.
Well, yeah, when we have been.
It's been a bit of a nasty morning, really sweaty and hot.
It's been a sweaty ass morning, but here we are, and it's getting more and more beautiful. And I'm about to have some lunch, so
food.
We're going to be happy. Okay, so I've got Mexican mackerel, and Finn's got
barbecue grilled.
Mexican grilled is really good. I think at least on par with tomato. What do you think of yours?
I don't know if it's going to be got slightly nicer stuff, but the actual mackerel itself tastes a lot nicer today than previous. It's not as gristly or nasty.
I think we just had really cheap mackerel last time. This is absolutely gorgeous. So Finn and I have just been having a very serious conversation.
We had to go through some real proper stuff just then.
And we realised that we haven't had any cocktails since we started this hike.
Which is just not acceptable.
So we've made a pact. Next time we go past a cool cocktail place,
whatever time of day,
as long as the cocktails are reasonably priced and it looks like a funky place, we're going to have a bunch of cocktails. That's a promise. It's recorded. It's going to happen. I'm already excited for my cocktails.
I want my pina colada.
But there might not be any until we get to Nice, but I'm looking forward to it. Cool, coming up on some nice mountains after lunch. I think we're both feeling a bit bloated though, aren't we, Finn?
Oh god, I had so much food.
Yeah, we love it.
Princes are just a lot more than Oreos.
It's a lot of biscuit.
Like, yeah.
But man, I'm just loving being ultralight at the moment. My pack has just been so light for the last many days.
It just makes hiking so much easier and more enjoyable.
And just having less stuff is just so...
much less faff.
It's just lovely to have so few things to worry about.
Unless, I mean, I still managed to lose a spoon, but still.
Ultralight is the way. Wow, we just come up to a bit, scouting out some an early campsite, and we climbed up to the top of this mountainy, summity bit, and it's just epic views. 365 degrees of just brilliant mountain everywhere. I can't believe it. I think it's going to be pretty tough to camp up.
Yeah, we have 0 water, so we need to go and fuel up from the refuge,
which is quite a way away. So, welcome to the day 21 camp spot. These are our tents. Mine is all blowing with the door open there. But this has got to be probably our most exposed and epic camp spot so far. I think I'm going to call it the 2 Pi camp spot. because that is how much view we have all around us. We're actually on a really steep little hillock that's just in the middle of this epic landscape, and it's just crazy. I can't believe we're up here. We're just about to cook up. We just shot a really passionate video about how you should become Ultralight and why.
Just one note for people that are going to then watch the series. If you have an option between becoming Ultralight or going hiking,
we don't need to continue the passion in this video series.
Just go hiking.
Let's just cook. Yeah, that's true. Going hiking is better than not going hiking in all cases.
In all cases.
Right, let's cook some tom yum noodles.
Hubbly bubbly, spice and noodle, bring to me your delicious taste.
How be the noodles?
Oh my god, that's so spicy.
This is why we like tom yum. You do not need to add any Helen spice to these bad boys. Are you sure you're okay?
Jesus, it's so beautiful here. I cannot believe it's still not raining.
Yeah, there are some slightly ominous clouds, but I think we'll be okay.
My god, I don't know how I'm gonna eat this. It's crazy, it's hot.
You just deal with it. Complains about it not being spicy, and now it's too spicy. Never right.
White chocolate.
I think I prefer the dark stuff, but this is really still very tasty.
It's a bit sweeter.
A bit sweeter, but really good. Dark chocolate though next time. You know, that looks absolutely terrifying, and we're pretty sure we just heard thunder earlier. The rain has begun. This could be a massive storm with loads of wind. The wind seems to have dropped off a little bit at the moment, but it could be a long night.
Properly windy and rainy now. My tent is oscillating like hell. I am glad I have rocks in my pegs.
Holy moly, that was pretty crazy. As you can see, I'm a little bit wet. The line lock on I think all my line locks have slipped and lost tension. So that's a pretty serious failure. They need to be knotted in the future. I'd probably not go with line locks on the next tent design. My front line lock was really tight, so when it failed, the whole tent like partially collapsed. But I managed to fix it and only getting my upper body soaking wet. The storm has dropped off in intensity. It was insanely windy a second ago. I put all my electronics away because I didn't want it to get wet, but it's dropped off now. I'm going to get up, retension my guy lines, and then knock them off on the line lock, so there's no chance that the line locks will slip. Good morning, welcome to day 22. As the camera is probably not fully showing you, it's only a partially full misty morning. We can sort of see the outlines of some of the big mountains around us, but what an absolute night that was.
Yeah.
So I just want to start off by saying, you know, you have to have a lot of confidence
in your gear
and experience in your gear to camp in a place like this, very high, exposed, windy. And I feel like we both do have a lot of confidence in our gear. You know, we've done these sort of camps before, we've hit by storms and stuff. That was a real big one last night, and some things happened with my tent, like, so when the really strong wind hit, my line locks failed. So I've never used line locks before, you know, this is the first time on this new shelter, and I mean, it's probably only the third or big windy bit we've had with it. And it was so windy that the line locks actually failed, which caused my tent to partially collapse in the night. So because the front line lock was very tight, when it failed, it then fell over like this, so it was like 45 degrees over. So I had to like lean out, tie up my guy, pull my line lock tight, tie a knot in it. Then when it stopped raining, I got up, tensioned all my other slipped line locks and tied knots on them so that they couldn't slip anymore. My whole like up of my shoulders, my head, because it was all sticking out of the tent, got soaking wet in like seconds, even though it only took me like 15 seconds to fix it from the inside of the tent. My upper body basically got soaked. I then like went into like really cold about 45 minutes later as all that water was evaporating. But then once all that water had evaporated, I then slept fine through the night. After the big storm, really big stormy bit,
It was pretty okay.
It was okay for a bit. Then we had a period of really heavy rain late at night. It woke me up again, and it was like very heavy. But I went back to sleep, and then in the morning we woke up. Temperature-wise, I was fine.
I was fine. Temperature-wise, wasn't that
once
cold.
I got through this, once I'd driven off all that water, I was fine. But man, the wind was so strong. Literally, my tent was like blowing all the way in, almost to the pole from the outside. It was crazy. But you know, it was manageable. We lived through it.
You've got to be able to trust your gear to camp.
went and got a storm.
Yeah, in a
top
place
of a mountain.
Exactly. But I mean, I'm pleased we did it, and next time I'll use thicker rope for the line locks, or not line locks at all, because you can't have line locks that slip. That's not cool. I like a cake breakfast, especially when it's a chocolate loggy cake breakfast. Epic views, very briefly. We're like on an ocean of cloud that's parting on our little tiny island.
Okay, so the fog has cleared a little bit since we got a bit lower down. The epic scenery has reappeared. There is still some very grey sky clouds over there, which we're a bit worried it might rain on us. But we're both very hopeful that it won't rain, and very much looking forward to the hot chocolates in town today, because we are going to go through a town sometime this afternoon. So that was a great bit of descent this morning, but now the climb has well and truly begun.
Up to a col, then down into town.
Got a good 500-600 metres up. It's looking pretty steep so far, so we'll see you at the top. Man, check that rock out behind me. Quite enjoying the descent, to be honest. Although it looks super steep, the switchbacking is pretty aggressive, so we're holding a nice fast pace. Wow, so the top of the mountain has unexpectedly opened up into a lake and flat grassland. Pretty crazy. Also, maybe you can see on the lake, rain is in the air.
So we are cruising along this beautiful col, aiming to get down into town sooner rather than later, get some food and us.
The grass is crazy.
Yeah, it feels almost like we're on this ocean of like grassiness. It's mad. It feels like I'm in some kind of like giant farm or field or something, but it's on. Yeah, just at 2,000 meters.
So we're just about to start the big descent. I think I just wanted to say that we've been getting a lot of comments on our videos this year, which we've been really enjoying reading. So thank you everyone who's been leaving us comments. So we're at the cafe. We've just bought like lovely pan of chocolate. It's a boulangerie, but it also sells coffee. We bought all of the bread and food we eat, which is fantastic. But Finn has just received. Go on, tell us, Finn.
Okay, so it's a hot chocolate in a wooden cup. There's a lot of it, and it is actually just molten chocolate. It is so good. It is packed.
I just tried some of it, and I think it might genuinely be the best hot chocolate I've ever tasted. Like, no joke, that is
If you're on
unbelievably
the
good.
GR5, come here.
And then on up to find a lake. Fantastic cafe spot. Did some editing. Got 100% charge.
Lake's called Lac de Crystal, so hopefully it's beautiful.
Yeah, and we're going to try and look for a lake, which is good. But it's all uphill, so let's power on.
We have hit the jackpot here.
We found a great spot to camp just here, with some lovely views, and ta-da, a slightly vegetative lake. So hopefully we're going to get a swim.
Welcome to the day 22 campsite by this beautiful lake. I'd like to say my pitch is particularly on point today. CJ's just blowing up his thermarest, and I think we're going to head for a quick dip. So we found a lovely deep bit of the lake to go into, and we're going to jump. Go for the dive, CJ.
Ooh. It's fresh, man.
Is it fresh or fresh?
Fresh.
Like fresh?
Guide me out here.
Am I ready to go?
You're good, man.
Okay, so there are some huge fish here, and I just saw a massive one jump out, so I hope you don't get eaten, Connor. It is a fishing lake.
Oh man, this camp spot is just fantastic, isn't it, Finn?
Yeah, objectively our best so far, to be
Just
honest.
great swimming lake,
Perfect flat
fairly
ground.
beautiful views, brilliant peg ground. I'm just absolutely...
Bit pooey, if I had to complain.
I mean, yeah, it is animal poo, so it doesn't matter so much, but wow, lovely camping here. Super chill. Noodle
cook time.
Noodle cook-up is going on, and we're both very happily just chilling on this soft grass,
It's lovely.
talking ultralight camping thoughts and different bits of gear. Our minds are churning. I think I'm finally have worked out what the ideal clothing system is, and I'm very excited about it. How's the noodles, Finn? You seem to be tucking in quite a lot. Mine are lovely and warm. I just did a lovely little video edit with the sun setting. I just realised that I had the front camera in 720p this whole time.
Yeah, but now you can see our faces in
now you can see all of
HD.
the pimples and spots on our manky ass faces. So
I'm beautiful.
we're going to go to bed now.